Jews are looked at as weak, but we're stronger than you can imagine. That's why you hurl propaganda bullshit that we control all the money, we control the media, because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated, black tar in their blood fucks who hate Jews because they ain't. You hate us because you ain't us. It's always been hurled our way. Hate, prejudice has always been hurled our way. And a lot of times we deal with it with compassion or the understanding that it might be mental illness. Fuck that. Never again, you fucks. Anyone saying to me, be on the right side of history, knowing what side I'm on, means you're on the wrong side of history, which means you're on the side of terrorists, murderers, rapists who would burn and behead you and your family. They would love to burn and behead you and your family. There's only right or wrong right now. You either support a caring community or you support extremist exterminators. Never again.
Revelation 3. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Revelation 2. I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty. But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
The Jews are looked at as weak, but we're stronger than you can imagine. That's why you hurl propaganda bullshit that we control all the money, we control the media, because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh
who hate Jews.
Yahweh Shai Bahashem.
Amazing. Being 50 yards away from a triple homicide. That's never happened to me.
It leaves you kind of speechless, and how something in a New York minute changed everything.
Well, we are learning new details about a triple homicide that left Mount Washington neighbors shocked over the holiday weekend. Police confirm the gunman attempted to commit suicide after the shooting. He remains in critical condition at UC Medical Center. Our Brenda Ordonez has the latest.
We're here at Good Samaritan Hospital. Tri-Health has confirmed 2 of the female victims worked here. Employees at a Sunoco gas station on the west side also confirmed the male victim recently worked there while attending IT classes. Now, how it is these victims knew each other and their relationship with the shooter, as well as a motive, that's still unclear. One neighbor, though, tells me a chilling encounter he had with the suspect moments before that shooting makes him believe it was premeditated.
He parked his car right there in front of our place and got out and circled the apartment building and kept looking for something, and then got in his car, drove away.
Doug Matthews says he saw the alleged gunman do that 2 more times Sunday afternoon.
I went over and asked him, was he okay? And he said yes, he was, well, I mean, he was not unfriendly. My dog went up to him and he played with the dog for a second. And I said, well, you got a friend for life. And he said, no, maybe for a minute. And then he said, you can go now.
Minutes later, gunfire erupted from that same apartment building on Beacon Street in Mount Washington.
I hear this, pop, 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 and I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Brad Lark and his girlfriend Lisa live across the street from the scene. Brad says after the initial shots, he heard muffled arguments.
It was like a parent yelling at their child in the backyard 3 yards over. It was like...
Brad says the argument was followed by more gunfire. Police confirmed 2 women ages 20 and 22 and a 27-year-old man were killed in the shooting. We're told the women are related, but it's not clear how just yet. Officials say the gunman then turned the gun on himself and is still in the hospital.
We were totally blown away because nothing like that happens around here.
Nathan Wells and his family live across the street from the crime scene that was taped off for hours.
Still a lot of confusion as to any kind of motive or why anything happened.
2 of the victims worked at Tri-Health. A statement from the hospital read in part, "The Tri-Health family is devastated by the tragic passing of 2 cherished Good Samaritan Hospital team members. Their dedication and spirit touched everyone who worked alongside them."
A lot of sadness that the lives that were lost, they were all young, and that it happened right while I was watching. It's incredibly, I don't know, I don't have a word to describe how awful it was. Nothing does it justice.
Earlier today, police confirmed that gunman is still in critical condition at UC Medical Center. Again, a motive for this incident is still under investigation.
Two of the victims were sisters. WLWT News 5's anchor Chris Jacobs here now with the update. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, hey, Cherie. So that suspected gunman was identified by police as 26-year-old Samuel Erickson. They say he killed himself after he shot 3 others. Erickson was initially hospitalized in critical condition. Now, we're also learning from police that Erickson knew at least one of the victims and had a romantic interest in one of them. Police say they're not investigating this as a hate crime. So this happened on Sunday afternoon on Beacon Street in Mount Washington. CPD says Erickson shot and killed Bimnette Doris Eden Adugna and Thiva Adugna. When police got there, Bimnette and one of the women were already dead. The other woman, along with Erickson, were taken to the hospital where they both later died. We're told Thiva and Eden were sisters who both worked as pharmacy technicians for Good Sam Hospital. Tri-Health telling WLWT they were cherished members of the hospital team. And posts on social media say Bimnette worked at a store on Montana Avenue. So what led up to this shooting is still unclear. We will keep you updated as we learn more information. Chris Jacobs, WLWT.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this truth, which includes you, few sisters. Shalom to the elect. So, the original clip came from the channel, this guy, Taylor House Publishing, but then I went to the other videos and I saw the video where they never even mentioned this guy. Shame on you, Fox 19. But they never even mentioned him. You know, that's that media. But this other news channel, they eventually mentioned him and showed his face. And they don't even give them those mug shots like they give Jake. You know what I'm saying? When they give the so-called black man that mug shot. Now, just for edification, for truth's sake, some of our people may look like this white man. I'm just saying. But we still see the rage of Esau, right? We still see the rage of Esau. They did their best to try to cover it up. Just like the lynching of Trey Reed. Well, they said it was no foul play. It was considered suicide, right? So they're trying their best to cover things up. And then they say, no evidence of a hate crime. Why did they bring that up? You know, it gets me about the race thing. Everybody always talk about, it's not about race. It's not about race. But on every application, they ask you, are you black, Hispanic, or native? Some type of census, right? You get the black woman who say, so-called black woman who say, well, I love my beautiful white husband. You know, they're mentioning the race. You see what I'm saying? So if it's not about race, why do people keep bringing it up? If it's not about race, why did this news clip anchors or whoever say, well, we don't see it as a hate crime? But it's 2 sisters and a Jake, and this man unloaded on him. And there was 911 calls. I didn't put all that in there. And what she was doing, she was calling and saying, hey, this guy's trying to attack me, such and such. Basically, the police just ignored it and said, there's one of those things that go on in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, they were in college or something. So, you know, college is not a safe place to be. Right now, the church and college is not a safe place to be. But first, let me get this. Okay, anyway, this is 1 Peter 4:17. It says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. So you can see the judgments of the Lord, right? The scripture says, you know, not to have company with the wicked. You know what I'm saying? And these demons and devils, you know, the whole time, again, they're talking about race, when it's always about race, whether it's the same, you got people of the same color of different races, right? I mean, you got Arabs that are dark as me, and Africans, Hamitic nations, darker than me even, and they're not of the same race. So it's always about race. The Most High made it about race, right? And the Most High is racist. We're going to show you that real quick. I don't know how Christians say Jesus came to change all of that. They're not about Jew or Greek. We're not going to go into that again, right? You're all one in Christ Jesus. It's all talking about all Israelites, by the way. Leviticus 20:26, it says, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine. And this is starting with the elect of Israel, by the way. Really, that's what this is going into. I mean, it's talking about the whole nations, Israel, separate from the other nations. But the elect that does the will of the Father, that's the one who is with him, right? And he said, I've severed you from other people that you should be mine. So it means he has separated you from other people. So anyway, this the 911 calls came. Nobody came to do anything. They said the man had mental illness or something like that. They saw it as a mental health crisis. It isn't about race. But we've seen this isolated incident on the train with the so-called black man and Ukrainian woman, if that was real, right? Trump held the sign up and said, this is the face of evil. But to the two innocent young black woman, so-called innocent, and the so-called young man, I'm just comparing it to woman. When it was the white woman, right, she was, according to society, in this situation, whether real or fake, she was considered helpless, vulnerable, and this was a mad, evil man. But on the other hand, now you got the life of two so-called black women. It's not even in the news. It's not even in mainstream news. Trump won't hold the face of the picture of this white man up and say, oh, this is the face of evil. Although he shall hold Christopher Columbus and various others, Cristobal Colon and various others, up as the face of evil, right? We know who those people in the land would hold up as the face of evil, of course. But then when we strike back and stand up and say, hey, this is wrong, you're not the people of the Bible, we're the children of Israel, this or that, they'll turn all the hate that was spewed in the world, even with the Klan, and put it on us and say we're the hate group. Now, out of all that hating that they've been doing, we've been oppressed, depressed, stripped of our heritage, don't own a goddamn thing in our neighborhoods. Rich athletes don't even own stores in their own neighborhood. What kind of madness is that? Not owning gas stations. You got the Arabs holding the gas station, the so-called Arabs running the smoke shops, right? The Asians running the Chinese restaurants, calling them soul food, right? Selling our food. Hiring black women, getting the information on how to make the food that we like, right? Fire them, coming under new management, redo it, hire some Mexicans to work in a, it just goes deep. This is what they do. And this is not some conspiracy. Micah 2. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, which goes to lawlessness, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And that's what the media does, right? The whole time they push this narrative of diversity, right? And then you see it in videos. I mean, you see it in movies and TV shows. But they just always show the black man as a cruel, evil man, killing and destroying, although they drop bombs and destroy and do all the things they do, right? Show us is living in ghettos and communities full of trash, although they got space trash and islands of trash. You get the point. But then, when this situation arises, they sweep it under the rug. They put it on low mainstream networks. It's not on CNN, Fox News. And if it is on a higher news platform, why do they hide the face? You know damn well if that was a so-called black man, right, and it was 2 white women and 1 white man, y'all already know how this would have went. You might have had Trump and Biden come together holding all the pictures up of Jake. You know what I'm saying? That's the one time the Democrats and the Republicans will get together. So let's go. Let's go to Psalm 71:4. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, right? Out of the hand of unrighteous and cruel men, right? Which cruel goes to ruthless men. Cruel, stern, suffering death, attending by much distress. Right, this is why we're praying to get out of here. These people that's on the side, they don't know what's going on. Right? The oppressors are always the one to tell you to love, have peace. You know, I see a whole lot of them so-called Arabs owning it. Now, I live peacefully amongst them and everybody I can. I have peaceful conversations with them. But of course, I talked to one about it, about our slavery. They know the history. You know what they said? They said our hands was tied. And it was. The Lord allowed you to do that. But there is recompense for that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody who's the oppressor are easy to say, hey, just love everybody. Give them white Jesus. They'll hug each other. They'll rock and hold hands. Hell, if we kill one of them, like Botham, the white police that killed the Jake, we can even hug them. This is what Christianity is doing for these blacks. Right? They call us tar babies. I just did a video on that with one of them small hat cheap suits called us tar babies. You know what I'm saying? They can call us anything under the sun. Black people don't have a problem with it. What about you, Ty Jackson? You famous, so-called trying to be a famous Christian to destroy Hebrew Israelites? What do you think about that? Do you think that was all right? You think that was all right for a policewoman to go shoot a Jake, right? Because she thought he was in the wrong house. And if it was Brad Pitt sitting there, she wouldn't have did a damn thing. Or somebody she thought was famous. Anyway, but this guy can shoot 2 women, and I heard the 911 tapes. I just didn't put it up. They were begging for somebody to come help her, right? And none shall. That's what the scripture says. None shall deliver thee. You shall be servants and handmaids, and none shall deliver thee. You're supposed to call on the name of the Lord, right? If these people understood the truth, they wouldn't have been in this predicament in the first place. Especially Eve. This society in the black conscious community told the black woman that she can lay with anybody and that seed is of that woman. Well, Sarah Netter and them was funded to say that, I believe. But that's absolutely false. They're of that other nation. Now, us as men, we can lie with any woman and our nation will come back. Just saying. Let's go here real quick. Psalm 71:4. Deliver me, O God, out of the hand of the wicked, right, and out of the man unrighteous and a cruel man. Let me go up here. And out of a cruel man. Let's see what it says here. Yep, it says ruthless. Doesn't say much on it. Just ruthless man. Right? Just ruthless man. Which I looked up ruthless. Well, we just looked it up. Going to cruel. Psalms 140:1. to the music, for the music director, a Psalm of David, rescue me, Lord, from evil people. Protect me from violent men. Right, this is why Proverbs 4 says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. And as I said before, this society is easy to tell you, the oppressor is always, it's easy for the oppressor to tell you to love and have happiness and hold white Jesus and rock back and forth, while they constantly got policies and putting things out on us and destroying us within, through gradualism. Jeremiah 4:30, right? It says, let me just get to the point. Let me go up. And when thou art spoiled, what will thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, right? Though thou decketh thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with paintings, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lover shall despise thee. They will seek thy life. For I heard a voice as a woman in travail, and the anguish of her that bringeth forth her first child, the screaming. For the voice of the daughter of Zion, that bewaileth herself, and spreadeth her hands, right, saying, woe is me now, for my soul wearieth because of murderers. So this is not just talking about the woman, this is talking about the men too. But I mean, it's talking about the woman as well. I mean, you see the two women, but that young man was there with them too. And he got destroyed too. And then they pass all these laws where Jake can't protect themselves, but they allow to. Like college, these people is in college. If you're on a scholarship, you got strict rules. But people who are funded by stolen blood money, right? They, if they get caught with weed or drugs, the school needs money. So it's like, we're not going to harm them. They're funding the school. This is the lifestyle we're in. This is the hell we're in. And if these people knew we were in hell and who their enemy was, they wouldn't see this problem. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.